Milwaukee's 29-piece Cobalt drill bit set. Review next. I'm Rick. Shut the heck up, you stinking boosters. For your sanity. This is the Shack. Hello and welcome. Hey, if you're new to the channel, first time stopping by, thank you so much for taking some of your time out to view. I always ask that you consider subscribing, and if you do, ding ding ding, ring that bell, hit that bell down there so you're notified when the videos do come out. This video we're going to do a quick review of a Milwaukee Cobalt drill bit set. This one is model 48-89-2332. Okay. Well, let's see, out of the box, I have to say this is awful bulky feeling. This may be 29 drill bits, but man, this thing is massive. Another little thing to consider while handling these, they are very sharp. They got a good sharp edge because they are new. So just be careful, because I think if you went to pull this out and you pull too hard and your hand would slip, you probably could slice your finger on these. So I don't know if they say anything on here, but handle these with care, knowing that they are very sharp and you might cut your finger on that. So just be careful. Just something little to consider while handling something brand new and very sharp. They are well organized though, I'll have to say that. The drill bit sizes are very easily read. The indicated white against the red pops out so you can see them quite easily. These pop out smoothly. The metal ones, I am used to having each individual row pop out, but this is okay, 2 and 2. I don't know what I'm going to do with these, because the drawer that my drill bits fit in, I have an old set that's in the metal and it is much thinner than this. This is a very old standard style metal case drill bit set, 1/2 inch all the way down to 1/16. As you see, a lot of these are missing, so there's not much in here, but look at the difference in thickness. This is so much more bulkier. This and all my drill bits are in one drawer on my toolbox. This ain't going to fit there. It's actually going to have to go in there laying like that. That's almost the thickness of half, yet I have just as many in this as in this. Same width. Utilize the space much more efficiently on the old style versus Milwaukee, but again, it's your call, your choice. I don't know if you can see these in there or not, but there are little grooves on the tip of this. This is what Milwaukee is calling their split tip chip breaker. By theory, it is designed to decrease heat buildup, and because of the 135-degree angle, it will help this bit from walking, which is true. I know that part. About the heat dissipation, I don't have any way to test that. This bit is sharpened at 118 degrees. I don't know if you can tell the difference. If you look at it, there is a difference. This isn't as as an angle as this one. So it'd be almost like a flat surface versus an arrow. You know, this is that much difference. So that brings up another point as far as resharpening goes. These you can resharpen all day long. You can use a drill doctor with the standard 118-degree angle, jig or something if you want for your grinder. But as far as the 135-degree tip goes, I know that drill doctor has
certain products that will accommodate the 135, even up to 140 degree angle. Problem being, this groove that supposedly dissipates heat and helps chip break out, I would say 1 or 2 grindings and that's smooth. So that part is gone, so I don't know how that's going to benefit you in the long run after the first sharpening or 2. But it is cobalt steel versus regular steel, and it will last longer. But again, there will come a time you need to sharpen them, so that I'm not 100% sold on. Another benefit of this bit versus the old style, you look at the shank down here at the end. This is just your standard round end. There's no flat surface on it whatsoever. The new Milwaukee bit are unique as they have 3 flat surfaces here, and the shank itself is a little bit smaller diameter. This will help your drill chuck to bite on this and prevent it from spinning within the chuck. The only caution I would say, and if you've been around any length of time and you've used them old torquey corded drills, even with this style of drill, sometimes it catches, especially if you're drilling in metal. And I had been flipped for a trip or 2 by my drill because it got stuck. This won't even allow that drill to spin on here, and it's going to flip you for a loop. But supposedly this grind, this angle, will punch through easier than this one does. If you really don't understand the angles and such, I'm going to try to do the best that I can. The theory is less walking while you're drilling in the metal, and as it does cut, there's more surface penetrating the metal faster, theoretically less heat, and will pull the chips away. This drill bit set is for metal primarily. I would suggest it does do wood, but it would be my first choice to go to wood. My normal 118 angled bit, twist bits, would be my first choice for wood. The 118 is much more of a defined point versus the 135 degree. The twists are tighter at the top, get further apart as it goes up, versus your 118 standard twist is the same symmetrical type of twist all throughout. The chisel is the tip right here of both. This has a bigger chisel because it's not as a defined point, and helps get in and start drilling harder metals quicker and more easily without walking. So that comes to this point. You see right here, the 118 bit will take longer to get through deeper into the material to get your cutting edge in there versus the 135, which isn't as a defined point, and will start cutting that surface much quicker. So at the same depth, you have almost a full tip in here versus barely quarter of the tip in here. So again, that's why you have less heat, because it's cutting quicker, faster, less heat buildup, versus this will take much more heat because it's going to take more time to get down to get the full cutting surface on there. That's how they theorize this. It's just some overview. So I hope that helps you understand that somewhat. I'm not an engineer. I can't explain things very well, but I try my best, and I hope that helps somewhat. So I'm just going to grab the smallest one I have in this set is the 11/64. I grabbed the new Cobalt drill bit 11/64, and I noticed it does not have flat spots on the bottom here, but the 3/16, the next size up, does have the flat edge. So 11/64 and smaller do not have the flat ground edges to grip better in your chuck. They are all round. Just take these two and just see if it does walk or not. I don't know if it has to be smaller. We'll see. So I'm going to do the steel bit first. I'm not going to drill deep. I just want to see if it walks. Yeah, I see it walks a little bit. See, look, it's taking off. So I need some place to hold it. Not too bad, but it does have a tendency to walk a little if you're not pushing firm, and maybe start slow to get some type of a point started, a reference point, or punching it. It will walk a little bit. It does have an easy tendency to walk.
We know it's got to do better because this is new and very sharp, but again, I just want to see if it walks at all. Wow, it's going quick. I couldn't even get it to walk. I got to really angle it to do anything. But if you're just off a little bit, it's staying right there. I have to really tip it. So basically, if I'm like this, as long as it's not tipped like that, it won't walk. A little bit. If I tip a little bit more, then it will walk. Where this one, I just tipped it a little bit and it'll start taking off. This is not as a sharp angle. It's not a almost like an arrow point, versus the 118 is more of an arrow point. Very, as far as degrees goes, you know, it's more defined. This is flatter. Real nice. Chips away. The groove in the tip is designed for the chip to fly away, to keep the tip free of debris. It's supposed to be able to take the material out better. As you see, it did pretty good. Again, you don't want a high speed. You don't want to just zip into it. You want to have a slower speed when you do cut it in the steel. That's pretty good. It takes more of an angle to get this to walk versus this. This will walk very easily because there's just not much space on that tip to get in there versus this. This is more, I hate to say flat, but it's not as defined a point as the 118 degree. These speed out bits are junk. I can't get this rusted screw out of here. This is a bunch of reclaimed wood I'm trying to separate. The best way I found is to use my new Milwaukee Cobalt bits with a 135 degree angle. That's the screw in there. So I'm going to show you how well these drill bits work to get out old screws, or even just drill in the metal, and you'll see how the split chip tip actually kicks all the debris up. So let's go. Definitely gets the material out of there easily. If I had a vacuum or a blower or something to blow it out, it would be much nicer, but there it goes. That's how you drill that tip out of there and separate that. Look at all that. That's nice. Get this in here so I can pop this out. There it is. That's how you extract these stinking screws. Now overall it's not bad. Again, 29 pieces, starts at 1/16 of an inch all the way up to 1/2 of an inch, 29 bits in total. The case is very visible. You can see the sizes quite nicely, so that's another added bonus. Overall, I would give it 4 stars because I like the fact that the shank, the bottom part, has the 3 flat surfaces so that your chuck on your drill will bite much better. Less chance of that slipping. I like the 135. It will start easier in metal, less walking. That's a definite plus. The only downfall is I don't know about the little groove in here that supposedly helps in the chip removal, getting the chips and stuff out of the way, because 1 or 2 grinds you will lose that, will not be there no longer. And you can't use your standard drill doctor or sharpening thing. You have to have one that will accommodate or angle at least to 135. That's going to have to be something looked in down the line. It is very bulky, which is to me kind of a downfall, and the fact that this will fit in my midsection from my toolbox. This will not fit in there because it's too bulky. I actually will have to leave it open like this in there. It's a kind of give and take, but they are good. I'm going to leave it on my bench for now on the side of my toolbox. Good advantages, a couple of disadvantages.
Thank you so much for watching. Be blessed, take back your shack and build it for your sanity. And keep the tools sharp in your shack. See you in the next video.